Hello and welcome to this week's edition of TCS Student News. I'm your host Ethan.
And I'm your host Leonie. Now let's get right into it. On November 16, 2019, Nancy Pelosi says Trump has every opportunity to present his own case on impeachment because Donald Trump believes this whole thing is a quote-unquote witch hunt. When Nancy Pelosi was was speaking, she compared Donald Trump with former President Richard Nixon, but said that Donald Trump is worse. She also announced that Richard Nixon at least realized what he was doing was wrong and that he stepped down before an impeachment could happen. Unlike Donald Trump, he is still going with it. When Donald Trump heard that Nancy Pelosi said he went on Twitter and tweeted, quote unquote, "I like the idea and will, in order to get Congress focused again, strongly consider it." The House Intelligence Committee started holding hearings of the first impeachment inquiry. This took place because of the July 25th call between the U.S. and Ukraine president. When the whistleblower told Donald Trump demanded to know who this person was, but he has still remained unresolved. I feel like Donald Trump is doing wrong with the decisions he is making, and he should acknowledge it and just be honest about the whole thing. I can't wait to see the outcome of this. This will make history.
Currently, there has been a lot of news happening with the impeachment process. On July 25th, there was a phone call between the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and President Trump. Trump asked Zelensky to dig up information on Joe Biden, the former Vice President of the U.S., who is running for the 2020 president. A whistleblower came out in early October and told U.S. officials secondhand information on the phone call. Recently, many first-hand witnesses who were on the phone call spoke up. On Tuesday, Gordon Sondland, the U.S. ambassador to the EU, testified against Trump. He was one of the main witnesses of the phone call. What he said was very important to this case. One of the main things he said was that there was a quid pro quo.
Hong Kong protests have been getting extremely violent, and this is no longer a protest. This is a riot. The people of Hong Kong have been shooting arrows, setting people on fire, and more. The protests began to get worse when a fellow protester was shot and killed by a police officer. Hong Kong protesters have invaded universities. Polytechnic is one of the major universities that they have as their territory. Around this campus, there have been multiple arrests and there has been a lot of bloodshed. Majority of the protesters have gotten injured, went home, or got put in jail. There are a good amount of protesters still on the campus fighting back. I would like to see how this ends because this has been an ongoing fight for a long period of time, and I believe something needs to happen fast.
There are so many protests happening in the world right now. There are some in Chile, Bolivia, Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, and Hong Kong. There are protests in Chile in response to a raise in the Santiago Metro subway fare, the increased cost of living, and privatization. There are protests in Bolivia in response to claims of electoral fraud in the 2019 general election. There are protests in Iran due to the raise in prices of many things like gas. In Iraq, there are protests against the government for 16 years of corruption, unemployment, and inefficient public services. Lebanon is having protests against the Lebanese government's failures to find a solution to the economic crisis. Hong Kong's anti-extradition law amendment bill movement is an ongoing series of demonstrations. They were first triggered in February because a man and his girlfriend went from Hong Kong to Taiwan. The man killed his girlfriend and admitted to it when he came back to Hong Kong. The government could not prosecute him because he committed the crime in Taiwan. They also couldn't send him to Taiwan to charge him because they don't have an extradition agreement. After this, the government of Hong Kong proposed an extradition bill, sparking the protests. I really hope that a lot of these protests will be settled, and I hope the government will meet the Hong Kong protesters' demands. Now let's start TCS Student News.
We would like to thank everyone for this week's lunches. Thursday, Miss Trina brought in chili and chips. Friday, Miss Mary Louise brought in pizza and chips. Monday, Miss Carol brought in salad, chips, and meatball subs. Tuesday, Miss Peg brought in hot turkey, potatoes, and some lovely dessert. On Wednesday, Mimi and Poppy brought in fried chicken, flavored water, salad, and chips.
On Friday, we watched a movie called La Bamba. La Bamba is a movie about a 16-year-old boy named Richie Valens. He had a dream to become a rock star and to be famous. He quickly accomplished his dreams, but sadly they ended at a young age. This movie included a history about his family and where they started and the way they finished. He had a mother who loved him and believed in him. He had a brother that had just came from jail and was an alcoholic. Richie soon fell in love with a girl named Donna. He even made a song about her. I thought this movie was great. It touched on multiple important topics. One topic that I really thought was important was don't take people for granted. I say this because you never know what can happen next, so be grateful for the people who you have in your life. What did you think about the movie, Liana?
Well, I thought the movie was great and touched on multiple topics that people should know and take seriously. On Tuesday, we had 5 shadow students at TCS. Their names were Sean, Trent, Julian, Cameron, and Kyle. 3 of them came from Roland Park. 1 of them came from Garrett Heights, and another came from Hamden Elementary Middle. The shadow students found out about the school from family members that went to the community school. 1 heard from a student's family member, and others heard from school counselors.
Mr. Ed on the Board of Trustees installed a brand new stove for the upstairs kitchen to help with heating up lunches and for use of future cooking classes. Helping was his son Michael, a graduate from the community school. Thank you so much for everything you do for the school, Mr. Ed.
We would also like to thank Destiny's mom, Miss Tina, and Destiny's sponsor, Miss Leandra, for cleaning the school. Thank you so much. You both are very hard workers.
On Tuesday, the freshmen had a CSI lab. In the lab, we made soil erosions with gravel, soil, and grass. We also put petri dishes outside to collect bacteria. I thought this CSI lab was really fun. I can't wait to see how much bacteria grows on our petri dishes.
Breaking news. The greenhouse has grown its first crop this year, string beans. Talia said she didn't like string beans because they were soggy from the can. But the fresh green beans were quote-unquote bomb. Congratulations, greenhouse. This will be our last TCS news for this trimester. Mr. Tom said he feels that it has been going well. He thought it was exciting to watch the new students grow, and that we should be set for the rest of the year. I like this trimester. I think this trimester has been going great, and that we can do better for the next 2 trimesters also. Also, it went past very fast.
This will be our last video before Thanksgiving break, so I would like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and to enjoy your holiday.
We would also like to thank all the volunteers and teachers at TCS. Thank you for all your support and making this school what it is. Thank you for watching another week's edition of TCS News. Have a great day.